From the home of the T-Birds, it is the final day of the regular season here in Suffolk County, and it's a matchup of two teams with playoff expectations as Huntington makes the trip out to Bohemia to take on the T-Birds of Connetquot. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome inside the press box. Dylan Butler alongside Jared Veluzzi for what should be a fun matchup, Jared. It's two teams that, on one side you've got Huntington, right, 11-4, playing their best lacrosse of the season. And on the other side, it's a Connetquot team that, listen, they're the only team in Suffolk to this point to have beaten Northport, right? They're trying to get back to that glory and prove that, they're among the elite.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one, and like you mentioned, last regular season game, both teams looking to really make noise in the postseason. And when you look at Connetquot, they beat Northport, and they had Hills on the ropes, right? Only losing by 1 goal to them. A lot of talent. Their past couple games haven't gone their way, but they certainly have a bunch of goal scorers that we're going to talk a lot about here today. It's going to be a fun one against a Huntington team that has had a lot of success despite their last loss. Yeah,
listen, you want to go into the playoffs on a high note. Both of these two teams do, and that's what we're kind of expecting today. As we look at Huntington, there you see them, 11-4 on the season, right? Jared, their kind of light bulb moment or the time they were able to turn things around, of course it's a rivalry game, right? They go and they play Cold Spring Harbor. They're at home. They win that game. And their head coach, Julian Watts, said from that point on, they have listened to the game plan. And the way that Huntington plays, listen, you know it well, right? It's the we, us mentality. It's about playing team lacrosse.
Yeah, this entire roster is bought in. And when they went against Cold Spring Harbor earlier in the year, it's a team they haven't beaten in a while, a crosstown rivalry, and they played a complete team game. Ever since then, Huntington really has been buzzing, and a lot of juniors and seniors on this team. Very experienced Blue Devils squad, and they're really heating up when it matters.
Yeah, Blue Devils, they're a team that, listen, like a lot of other teams on Long Island, right? They lost some major pieces from last year's team, right? Anthony Annunziata facing off at Yale now, Sammy Mack, Archer, the list goes on. But these guys have bought into that philosophy, and we'll take a look at their players to watch here today on both sides of the ball. On the left, it's Thomas Giramonti, the senior. He is the quarterback of this offense. You see at 73 points on the year. And Parker Wands is that cover guy, rangy, athletic. He didn't grow up in the club circuit, but now he's part of it. And he's a junior who's really making some noise here this year.
Yeah, both these players are going to be really key in this one. And Thomas Giramonti, he is a complete attackman for Huntington. I mean, you saw the stats there. He can score, he can feed, and really a true initiator. Connetquot's going to really have to find a way to stop him. And defensively, Huntington, really athletic. You mentioned Wands. And, he's still kind of getting acclimated. He wasn't on that club circuit, but he's been doing a wonderful job in these number 1 matchups.
So those are the Blue Devils of Huntington. Let's take a look on the other side. And listen, last time we had Connetquot lacrosse on the Varsity Media Sports Network, it was an upset loss in the semifinals a year ago, and also a team that lost a lot to graduation, right? You've got the two Tylers, Tyler McCarthy, Tyler Moore, both All-Americans last year, both now playing Division I lacrosse, among others, right? But this too is a proud group. And they're looking to bounce back, right? It's been a struggle down the stretch of the season, but they've proven with that win over Northport, with a 1-goal loss to Hills, they can kind of beat any team and also lose to any team.
Yeah, I mean, Connetquot, they showed that they can go after pretty much anybody in Suffolk County. And Hills has pretty much cruised through almost everyone except for Ward Melville, and especially the likes of Connetquot. I mean, they had to score a last-second goal to beat the T-Birds. And I know Connetquot has had some tough losses earlier in the season, but, man, they really have a lot of talent that I'm excited about. If they play team lacrosse, a lot of success can go over to the team and win.
Yeah, two guys that the T-Birds will be looking to lead them here this late afternoon, this late regular season contest. On the left is Jake Galosi, the senior, the Quinnipiac commit, is a co-captain. He's that creator, the lefty, right, that is also a tough guy, right? So not afraid of the contact. He will be on the field a lot. And the top defensive guy this year has been Lucas Weaver, probably of this entire Connetquot team, the guy who's made the biggest leap from his sophomore year to his junior year.
Yeah, I mean, you take a look at Weaver's game and what he's done this year. He has impacted the game all over the field. I mean, his aggressiveness, his motor, it's really fun to watch. I'm excited to see what he does against some really talented Huntington offensive threats. And, of course, you mentioned Jake Galosi, the future Bobcat, really has a lefty cannon, and Connetquot's going to really rely on him down low to produce some points. And he's going to really anchor this offense as one of the senior leaders.
Impressive, too, that he's got 31 goals, 21 assists. And generally, he draws the number 2 pole. The number 1 pole is usually A.J. Jaffairs gets that, and it'll be interesting to kind of see what Huntington does with that, because as we'll see and we'll detail throughout the broadcast, Jaffairs will be at the face-off X, and it's been different. That's another part of the difficulties this year for Connetquot, right? Untimely injuries. Both regular Fogos are out for this one, but listen, it's got to be a next man up mentality. That's Ryan O'Hara. He tore his hamstring, did well against Hills, did well against Northport as well, and now it's up to Jaffairs, and we'll see a bunch of different guys in the face-off X today for Connetquot. But listen, they also want to play some team lacrosse here today, and both coaches, when we spoke to them, they said, listen, they highly respect the other team. They both expect this to be a close game.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a war. Both coaches said that they know that the other team is going to be ready to go. I mean, that's just the brand that each of these programs bring every single time they step out onto the field. And, I mean, I can't wait for this face-off X matchup. And with Connetquot, I know because of the injuries, it's going to be a little bit different. So I'm excited to see, if they decide to maybe double pull, how important the wing play comes in, and what Jaffairs really does at the face-off X.
And there's a good look at AJ's dad, Brett Jaffairs. Class of 1990, he has really led this program to some terrific heights. 12th season as head coach. Also love the fact that, you go up and down his coaching staff, they are all Connetquot alums, right? This means the world to this entire staff as well. Guys like Scott Ferguson, the class of 2000, he's the offensive coordinator. James Rowland runs the box, strength and conditioning, he's an 08. Mike Barneo, also involved in the offense, class of 06. Greg Heller, 87, with the face-off guys. Even the JV coaches are alums as well, so it's something special for Jaffairs and his staff.
Yeah, I love it. They're keeping it within the T-Bird family, and they're going to hope to bring some of that T-Bird intensity here today against Huntington as a lot of playoff implications. They win this game, they could potentially be looking at a 7 seed, a little bit of easier first-round matchup. And, of course, Connetquot, they're really looking to secure a home game in the postseason.
Let's take a look at the starting lineups for both of these teams. First, for the visitors from Huntington, and really, we won't see a lot of change. This is your starting lineup and pretty much guys who will stay on. It's Giramonte, McNulty, and Rybenko on attack. You've got Lennon, McDonald, and Klein as your first midfield. We'll talk more as this broadcast goes along about Luca Cuso. Your close D of Wands, Canerium, and Bringen. And in the cage, he's a guy who brings it every game, Will Fallon. And again, Sammy Mack Archer was the guy a year ago, but Fallon, 142 saves on the year, a 55% save percentage, has been really consistent, really good on the pressure as well, especially with close range shots.
Yeah, Huntington, had an incredible goalie last year, but Will Fallon has really stepped up to the plate.
And there is the head coach, Julian Watts. Once upon a time was a Friar, class of 03. Now in his 7th season as Huntington head coach. And you talk about terrific assistant coaches, right? Andrew Gutierrez and George Powers, the legendary George Powers on Julian Watts' staff. So great to just soak in that knowledge that those guys have. For Connetquot, we'll take a look at their lineup, and it has changed because of injuries, because of the struggles that they've had. But up front, it's a freshman, Nick Luca, along with Jake Alosi, Carson Turacini. Your first midfield of Deliso, Insinga, and Jaffairs, who we'll see at the face-off X. At LSM, we mentioned it before, Lucas Weaver. Your close D is Guido, Faraka, and Dinnigan. And in the cage, it's Connor Fitzgibbons. He's a guy that we didn't see in the playoffs last year because he also tore his hamstring late in the season. Colton Stellwagen was the backup, but Fitzgibbons is back. He's a senior co-captain, Nobody watches film more on this team than Connor Fitzgibbon. So that's your T-Birds. We'll take a look at the keys to this one for both of these teams as the captains are out at midfield with both teams still warming up before the start of this one. And listen, the face-off battle's going to be interesting. And again, with the multiple looks that Connetquot's going to throw, right? But we know it's going to be Luka Kuzo. But you can see, too, both of these teams, kind of want to stick to what they do well.
Yeah, both of them really want to stick to their brands. I mean, look at Huntington. They're senior heavy on the attack. We already highlighted Thomas Germonti. He's going to have big games down the stretch if Huntington wants to win some of these more challenging contests. And pressure on defense is going to be really important, trying to make Connetquot uncomfortable. And, of course, staying on the same page. And when you look at Connetquot, they're going to have to find a way to win possessions. They're going to have to get creative on the wings, just trying to win face-offs, and they can't give Huntington any type of free possessions, so they're going to really look to just be on the same page tonight.
So it is Huntington and it is Connetquot opening face-off from Bohemia when we return here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Dante does it again! Defensive play. Dante Zadaro. Dilico ties our move by Yeso steps up and score. A jump shot for Nell.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Varsity Media offers live streaming services for any sport. With human beings behind the camera, you can expect the proper coverage angles during each game. We offer customizable options such as live scoreboard, multiple cameras, instant replay, graphics, and even announcers. Find out how you can save $100 off a live stream package with Varsity Media by calling 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media Pass is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Playoffs. For semifinal and championship coverage of boys and girls lacrosse, flag football, and baseball, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Varsity Media is the home for New York high school sports.
Welcome back to Connetquot High School. Dylan Butler, Jared Veluzzi, our entire Varsity Media crew. Huntington and Connetquot to close out the regular season in Suffolk Division I. Jared, we'll take a quick look at the standings before the start of this one. And it's interesting, here because you've got some opportunity, I think, if you're Connetquot, to move, right? And these are the PowerPoints on the left and their record on the right. But the PowerPoints can change significantly because there's still kind of added points to become that you get at the end based on your preseason seed.
Yeah, because of the seeding, I think Connetquot is going to get maybe an additional 8 points. I'm not exactly sure, but they get that win plus the additional points, Connetquot could be looking at maybe a 7th place finish, but if they lose, could either stay in the 8 or maybe around that 9 range, but Connetquot definitely looking to secure a home game.
You see Huntington too, right? Coming in at number 4. So interesting there too, right? You have the 8-9 game. So right now, if this stayed true, Connetquot would host Longwood, but obviously, look, you want to get as high a seed as you possibly can, and they're trying to chase down Bayshore. Of course, today as well, Hills and Northport play, so a lot rides on that one as well, likely for the top seed that Hills currently has.
Yeah, that one's an exciting one out in Northport. That should be a lot of fun. And Huntington, of course, they're looking to probably maintain that 4th seed, not having to play in that opening round, and host that quarterfinal matchup.
So both teams lined up on the field for the pregame ceremonies here. And we'll be set momentarily here for the opening face-off. And again, a much different look, not only from last year for Connetquot, but even from earlier this year, right, where a year ago you lose a Division I face-off guy, and that in Joe Doyle, who joins Kyle Cochran, both at LIU. But also you lose your 1 and your 2 to injury. So it's time to kind of go into the well for Connetquot, and guys have to break out face-off sticks they haven't used maybe since 5th or 6th grade, and that's going to be the case for A.J. Jaffairs. Let's take a look at that opening face-off battle. And listen, you've got a pure face-off guy in Kuzo, right? The junior, 68% of the year. Jaffairs has only faced off 1 game. Good numbers, clearly, but this not what he is known to do.
Yeah, and they're going to try to make it 50-50s here today, try to win those fights for the ground balls, and they're really going to try to muck it up.
All right, so opening face-off. Here it's Kuzo on the left, Jaffairs on the right. Jaffairs did do this in middle school. And this is exactly, Jared, what you said, right? You want to kind of muck it up and see what you get a possession. Instead, it'll be Huntington ball to start.
Yeah, like what Jaffairs did, though. Kuzo tried to win it forward, and it ended up being a 50-50 ground ball. Jaffairs had an angle there, but it ended up going Huntington's way after the foul.
So 44, Dan McNulty. A guy who's endured some really terrible injuries the last couple of years, which has limited his time. 2 years ago was a back injury. Last year, a knee injury. He's a basketball, though, guy, and he's back. There he is on top. And that 17 is McDonald. It'll be interesting to see what we see defensively, right, from both of these teams. Takeaway.
Yeah, and Connetquot opening right away into a zone defense, and they really tried to force Huntington to, move the ball around the perimeter, as the Blue Devils unsuccessful there. So now Connetquot looking to clear.
Yeah, it's not an easy one, though, because you can see the ride for Huntington, and the T-Birds will not clear, failed clear. So after doing the work, Jared, defensively, it's a failed clear for Connetquot.
Yeah, good ride by Huntington, able to redeem themselves after the turnover, but this is kind of going to be the name of the game for Connetquot. Little things, like you just got a good stop defensively, really need to be able to clear that ball there.
So the Blue Devils back on attack. It's Giramonte from X. He will be that facilitator from there. Trying to get it inside and gets right to Fitzgibbons.
Yeah, an errant pass there right into the stick of Fitzgibbons, but now here's another opportunity on the Huntington rod.
And it's interesting too, right, Jared, because both coaches in our conversation with them both said about the other team, they've got some tough guys. They're physical, right? Like they're going to scrap. So we expect to see that here today as it's Jaffairs.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of physicality and aggressiveness from both teams, but that's what makes this matchup great. Two teams with a lot of heart and definitely a lot to play for going into the postseason.
Aiden DeLiso hands it off. That's Carson Turricini, 22. There's Galosi, our offensive impact player, number 4. Here's Aiden DeLiso, the Malloy commit. Interesting too, right, Jared? He's a guy who is a football guy, really wasn't taking lacrosse too seriously, right? Kind of his other sport. But then when the recruiting heated up, so did his interest, obviously, in lacrosse. And lo and behold, now has an opportunity to play Division II lacrosse. Getting downhill. And that was a pass by Galosi. Good effort to try to keep it, but it goes out. So a turnover for Connetquot.
Yeah, that pass trickled out of bounds. Interesting on defense for Huntington. They started the first half in their last game against Hills in a zone defense, but they came out in man, and now they're looking to clear as the ball just stays in bounds there.
A sloppy start really for both teams early on, as Huntington trying to get the first goal. There's a shot towards the cage, fired wide by Giramonti.
And just being able to get the back up there was Huntington. Now Connetquot back in their zone.
And that was Rybenko as the backup. Back up top to McNulty. They'll swing it to this side where it's McDonald. Patience from the Blue Devils. To his left, back out, McNulty. The one more, firing towards the cage. That's another shot off the mark. So the first two shots wide from Huntington.
I'm interested to see McDonald, number 17 for Huntington, kind of in that low lefty shooting spot, and also with the ability to maybe attack short sticks on the pipes here. We'll see what Huntington really does in this zone offense before they're running a 1-4.
Good job pressing out. Now it's a ground ball battle won by Connetquot.
And although it stays with Huntington, that was good pressure by Connetquot. Those three pulls at the top of their zone going out and making plays.
McNulty blocked, second chance. I think Fitzgibbon got a piece.
And if Fitzgibbons gets a couple saves early, he has had some spectacular performances this season. Part of the reason why Connetquot really competed well against some of those top teams early on.
Jump shot off the mark. The backup is there. That's the fifth Huntington shot. McDonald, he is the juice guy for Huntington. Feeds the crease, and there's the finish. A great look inside by McDonald. They attack the crease, and the Blue Devils take a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, that was a good job kind of catching the Connetquot defense sleeping. You know, I was interested to see what Timmy McDonald would do in that low left spot, and this time just dishing it right inside, and a quick release and finish from Tommy Klein there.
Yeah, Klein, the Loyola commit, goal number 18 on the season. And McDonald picks up the assist, his 15th of the year.
Yeah, and off-ball importance is going to be key here in the zone offense for Huntington. Good job by Klein, you know, finding a pocket, finding some open space, and then the quick catch and shoot there for the Blue Devils.
Big ground ball picked up by Jaffers. And that's the thing. He likely will not win too many face-offs clean, right, with Kuzo. But when you get the wings involved and you can scrap it up and it becomes a ground ball war, you've got that opportunity. That's exactly what the T-Birds did there.
Yeah, in Connetquot, they have the athleticism with Jaffers and the wing play, where if the ball's on the carpet, they have an opportunity to get it if they make it 3-on-3 in off the face-offs.
So the T-Birds down 1-0. They've yet to have a shot, so they're going to be patient here. A lot of times, right, Jared, you see teams that maybe don't have the ball a lot. They've just given up a lot of shots. They kind of rush things to get back in a hurry, but that's a little bit of the problem that you don't want to face if you're Connetquot.
Yeah, Connetquot got to give their defense a little bit of a rest and run the offense the right way here.
Deliso hands off. Here comes Galosi, gets top side. Tried the handoff. He did get it to Turacini. Feeds the crease. Kind of forced it in there, and now another battle for it. And the Blue Devils come away. But that an errant pass as well. It's going to be a push with possession. And it'll be Connetquot ball. I'm not sure, Jared, if we're struggling a little bit with the setting sun here. I don't know if the teams are having similar issues on the field.
I was just going to say, I mean, the sun might be a factor with some of these passes right now, with, the miscommunications and some of the unable to haul in some passes. But we'll see what Connetquot's able to do here on offense. But right now for Huntington defensively, they've been doing a great job with, all of these big littles and setting picks and, the two-man game that Connetquot's been displaying here in this pair's offense.
Turacini to Galosi. They'll play catch up top. Turacini, the junior, committed to Iona. One of the better shooters on this Connetquot team is Turacini.
He's been a big-time goal scorer so far for Connetquot, as he was last year. One of the top shooters on this team.
Jaffairs from X. As you mentioned in the top, usually gets the top pole. Spins, still has it. Jaffairs the lefty, low to low! And there's the goal by Turacini, and we are tied at 1.
Great shot from Turacini to tie this one up, and we were just talking about how good of a shooter number 22 in white is, and now you see it. Jaffairs dodging with his head up, able to give it to Turacini, and this one low to low, off stick, opposite pipe, great placement, and a very quick release, as that's what we have to see from Turacini here if Connetquot's offense wants to be successful.
Goal number 46 on the season for Turacini. And now a switch at the faceoff X for Connetquot. It'll be John Nsinga, another guy, another younger player who did this craft when he was younger. Had to pick it back up. Clean win. Nearly a Fogo goal by Kuzo, but a good save by Fitzgibbon.
Yeah, good body save now. Looks to be in trouble here from this Huntington ride. Weaver almost getting it over. It looks like Connetquot got the timeout off, though.
The T-Birds did get the timeout. We'll take it with them as well. 1-1, the score early on. Huntington, Connetquot. You're watching it right here in the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Feel like your game film is too stagnant and not providing you with the insight that your coaches had hoped for? Varsity Media offers game film to help your coaches develop a game plan to execute on game day. Our current clients love the Varsity Media difference, which includes more insightful camera angles and a speedy upload process. Start building your championship team today with award-winning individuals at Varsity Media.
Well, welcome back to Bohemia, and Jared, we have some breaking news, right? A final from that big tilt between Northport and Hills.
And the undefeated season is over as Northport took down Hills 7-3. And I mean, how about that defense from the Tigers, Dylan? Slowing down that prolific Hills offense. I mean, just 3 goals, and what a win for the defending champs.
Which again should speak to sort of how wide open this Suffolk A will be once the postseason starts. So here's Turacini. And maybe some numbers here for the T-Birds.
And now it looks like Northport's going to get that number 1 seed, and it's a Northport team that lost to right here, Connetquot.
Yeah,
so
that's what we're saying, right? Like it could be wide open, and obviously Ward Melville, the tradition that they have, they're going to be in the mix. Northport, though, And they just seem to turn it on right at the right times, and they've had an excellent season, no doubt. So here's Jafaris. Spins from X. Slide comes his way. Good recognition by Jafaris to pass out of that.
Yeah, Huntington quick to go after having a short stick guarding Jafaris from X.
Here's Galosi. And again, they'll slide to him. Galosi spins out of that, still has it. Galosi, another forced pass into the crease and a turnover. He tried to find Aiden DeLiso.
Yeah, and Huntington ready for it defensively. They did a pretty good job attempting doubles when they could there, forcing Connetquot to make some quick and difficult passes, and pretty evident there. T-Birds throw it away once again. Now Huntington looking to clear, and the clearing game is going to be extremely important for both teams. Of course, always looking to stay over 80%, and now Huntington able to get it over with ease.
Yeah, and Klein does just that. We will see a lot of Tommy Klein today. We don't expect him to make his way to the sideline. Of course, his brother Mikey, what a great player he was for Huntington as well at RPI.
Man, you could say he's having a fun season up there at RPI with how they've been doing at the Division III level. Definitely a national title contender. Of course, he did his thing at Huntington. And Klein and McDonald, just two middies that we're going to talk about all game.
Up top, lefty rip, and the save by Fitzgibbon.
And I love the original skip pass there from X over the top to the top center guy, but that time Fitzgibbon ready for it, able to get down low and make the play.
Now Fitzgibbon involved in the clearing game. Here's DeLiso. He still haven't got it in, though. DeLiso will kind of bulldodge his way in. Now the feet to the crease. Look out! Collision. Nsinga clearly went into the crease, and also a late flag as well.
Good job, John.
Nsinga completely barreled over Fallon. You take another look, Jared.
Yeah, and Connetquot, they tried to go right away there. And, yeah, Nsinga just going right into the crease, but he got some help going there. So Connetquot going to be on the man advantage. And I'm interested to see what this EMO unit has in store.
Yeah, first man up for either team. And already we see, right, Jafaris and DeLiso up top.
And DeLiso, a player that you definitely have to look out for when it comes to shooting the ball.
There's Jafaris. 99, Logan Cordes. He's in on this man-up unit. Jafaris goes the other way. Gets it back. They've not been able to get it to X yet. They will now. Cordes gets it there to Turricini. We're even now.
Yeah, good kill by Huntington as they really went to extend out there on that man down, made Connetquot pretty uncomfortable. They also recovered well in as they were able to cover the crease and also get a lot of pressure on hands, so very successful man down for Huntington.
Here's Galosi. Nice first step, feeds the crease, turning, firing, Nsinga. And another flag, it would appear.
Yeah, looks like back-to-back penalties for Huntington. And we see it here, yeah, right in the back. The official's going to call that one.
So second man up opportunity. Second one also, that's a 30-second technical foul. So
yeah, we got to see Connetquot go quick here, bang it around quick, and see if they can get a look at a playoff. And there goes Huntington again.
Yeah, right in on Jafair's hands. And that was Parker Wands. He uses that stick like a wand. Low to low! Galosi! The man up goal. The T-Birds take a 2-1 lead.
And that was pretty from number 4. And that's kind of what you can get when a man down extends out. You'll see it here as the man in the middle kind of getting open a little bit. Galosi gets his hands free, and we talked about in the open how dangerous of a shooter he can be, and we see it right there.
So Galosi gets goal number 32 on the year. Jafar's his second assist, so both goals assisted. Jafar's jumped on the face-off, so the third face-off win for Kuzo. It's a good response, Jared, early on from the T-Birds after giving up that first goal in the first 5 shots of the game. Connetquot has worked their way back in, and they've taken the 2-1 lead. Final seconds here of this first quarter. And if you are Brett Jaffers, Jared, I think you like what you saw there, especially in the second half of that first quarter.
Yeah, towards the end, it looked like Connetquot really got it together, and especially number 22, Carson Teresini, great placement on the shot. He gets that one to go, and they're getting their shooters in the right spots. Galosi with a wonderful low-to-low, helping Connetquot take a lead by 1.
T-Birds by 1 after 1. Second quarter coming back on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Varsity Media offers live streaming services for any sport. With human beings behind the camera, you can expect the proper coverage angles during each game. We offer customizable options such as live scoreboard, multiple cameras, instant replay, graphics, and even announcers. Find out how you can save $100 off a live stream package with Varsity Media by calling 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Back to Bohemia we go. Dylan Butler, Jared Veluzzi, our entire Varsity Media crew. Second quarter about to begin. Back to the face-off X we go. That's the correct one, all right? We want to make sure we showed AJ and his hair, right? There's Jafar's, and 64%. That is in one game. That's his first time facing off since the 5th grade. Not too bad for a first game against the guy in Kuzo who hasn't won this face-off yet, right? You got to get the ground ball to do so. And whatever happens here, this is edge Connetquot.
That's what Connetquot was looking for, but it's going to be a push. And it was a little bit of a delayed call there as they kept going for a second, but regardless, it's going to be Blue Devil possession.
Yeah, Jafar's told us we'll see AJ. We already saw Nsinga. Right, we might even see backup goaltender Colton Stellwagen.
I would love that.
I don't know if he's facing off with his goalie stick or not, but of course we kid. But yeah, listen, it's all hands on deck, right? When you're injured at the face-off X, and then you bring in your litany of poles. So Huntington trying to get back. McDonald back up top. 19 is Klein. He's got the lone Blue Devils goal so far. And against the zone, right, we've seen them trying to feed that high slot. There it is. And that shot off the mark. That was Rybenko.
Yeah, and Rybenko, he's been a good inside guy for Huntington this season, has been pretty productive from that spot, so they'll definitely look for him here in this zone offense. And now they're back to that 1-4-1 set for the time being, expecting a quick roll-off like they've been doing so far.
All those kind of games within a game, right? Different looks. When they beat Northport, they pretty much played man in that one. Connetquot did. Good double. But Huntington maintains their possession with Giramonti. Back up top. Here's Giramonte. Good save down low by Fitzgibbon.
A great save from Fitzgibbon, and I do like Giramonte a lot on that sneak from behind the cage. Maybe 1 or 2 more steps from him like he's been doing a lot this year. Oh, we could see a goal, and what a play.
Yard sale.
Big time, Rybanko. And that's how you get the ball back.
Yes, on the ride. And you could already kind of see, right, just some of what has ailed Connetquot to this point, right? Like, you do all the hard work, you get the stop, and then the failed clear on the ride back. And now you're putting more pressure on your defense as well as your goalie. And Fitzgibbon has answered the bell in a big way early on.
Yeah, it all falls into the family of limiting turnovers. And that's something certainly Connetquot's really going to look to do in the second half, or I should say the rest of the way here.
Some wheel action for Huntington, but again on the carpet. Who's going to come away? Connetquot does, at least momentarily, but the ball went back to the midfield. Look out. Good scoop. And what do we got? That was Faraka, the sophomore, who ended up with the ball.
Yeah, we'll see if they call it.
Oh, it's a slash, 1 minute.
New penalty.
So third man up opportunity for Connetquot. They cashed in on their second.
Yeah, it looked like Connetquot, they definitely expected the pressure after the first man up opportunity. They were ready for it. Galosi was the beneficiary for sure with a lefty snipe, and we'll see what the T-Birds have incoming here. This time it's going to be a minute, though.
Yeah. The other two are 30-second technical fouls. It's Turasini from X. 5 is the freshman, Nick Luca. Looks every bit a ninth grader. Good motion for Connetquot. Step down shot and a terrific save by Fallon.
Yeah, that's a big time save from Fallon. Being able to get down low, but also being able to eat up the bounce shot. Against Hills, they had a couple high bouncers get past them, but here today, it wasn't happening on Fallon's watch. So big save, and now Huntington going to be able to kill off the rest of this man up. So
yeah, Jared, that's the second part of it, right? Not only do you get the save, you get the rebound control, and you get the clear.
Yeah, it's huge. And now Huntington can settle down, get their offensive personnel on. And as much as I dislike the fact that shot clock isn't in high school lacrosse yet, in this zone offense for Huntington, they can take their time and really get the proper looks that they're looking for.
Well, don't worry. It's coming next year.
Yeah, I'm excited for it, but we'll see if Huntington kind of takes advantage of it and really tires out this Connetquot defense.
McNulty up top. Good move by McNulty on the dodge. Still has it. Gets it right back. McNulty. A basketball guy, right? Which obviously that skill set translates so well to this skill set. And there he is. You mentioned the patience, right? Giramonte feeds the crease, looking for Rybanko. He fires it wide.
Yeah, and Rybanko doing a good job constantly cutting, and they're really looking to get him into his left hand where he's comfortable to be able to catch and finish. And Giramonte did a good job keeping his head up, finding him there. Shot just wide. We'll see what Huntington's offense does now here in a 2-3-1.
Some pressure now by the T-Birds. Wheel action. High shot by Giramonte this time. So similar, right, to that other time. Kind of sneaks in from X.
Yeah, I love the look there, especially Giramonte this time really coming up the hash, getting a very good angle. That shot just a little bit wide. But look for Huntington to keep on getting number 2 into good spots to succeed.
And there's the leader. Giramonte from X up to McNulty. Huntington, they don't go very deep as lowering the shoulder, turning, firing was Giramonti. No backup.
And it's going to result in Connetquot possession, but I like the take from Giramonti, attacking the short stick on the pipe, and there was no help there. He almost got that one to go, but just wide, and with that, there is a backup. So there is no backup, so Connetquot able to take over.
And yet another turnover. Faraka sent it down to midfield, unable to find a teammate. And Jared, you can't give this Huntington team this many bites at the apple. McNulty feeds, trying to get him in the substitution game. Giramonti goes low, but Fitzgibbon, another save.
Man, Fitzgibbon has gotten a good amount of those so far here in the first half. And Huntington, they just had a numerous amount of shots here in that zone offense or right off an unsettled situation. Connetquot still being able to stand tall, maintain this lead. And if I'm the T-Birds here, get a good long possession, give that defense, and especially Fitzgibbon, a little bit of rest here and let your offense go to work.
It's funny, last year, right, you had the combination of Tyler Moore and Tyler McCarthy just punt return clear with their athleticism, and it's become a little bit more of an issue this year without those guys.
Yeah, it's always fun when you have those special athletes that you can kind of give the ball to, and they'll figure it out to get over the midline. But yeah, no, now Connetquot has to, run a specific clear and try to connect all the dots. And they've been able to do it from time to time here. They're going to have to be a little bit more consistent, but they've definitely showed the ability to clear the ball well.
Terracini to Golosi. Those two have the 2 goals right now for the T-Birds. Golosi lowers the shoulder, still has it. Hands off. Terracini. There's Nsinga, the sophomore, to Jaffers at X, the St. John's commit. AJ Jaffers. Feeds the crease, high crease, and the finish! Luca! Yes, he's a freshman, but he belongs. Great finish in the slot as the T-Birds extend their lead.
Yeah, how about the youngster finishing? But good job by Jaffers, able to post up his defender, and it caused the Huntington player to get a bunch of movement. And what a great C-cut there from the youngster as Luca able to finish, good catch and shoot, and that's going to be a lot of momentum there for number 5. And this whole entire Connetquot team taking an early 2-goal lead.
So for Luca, goal number 4 on the season. And Nsinga on the face-off. We go the other way. Now some numbers for Huntington. They go unsettled. Great knockdown as well. So the T-Birds with some juice right now.
Yeah, great job getting a stick on that as Huntington, they were ready to go as they were tired of playing some zone offense. They had a fast break opportunity. I like the skip pass idea, but it's a great job getting in and getting your stick over to knock down the pass.
And Jaffers has to burn a timeout here, again with the possibility of a failed clear. So some big-time games here on the Varsity Media Sports Network as we close down in the regular season. We'll be out at Mount Sinai tomorrow to see an East Islip team that is the favorite in B against a tradition-laden program in Mount Sinai. Great girls lacrosse showdown, right? Cold Spring Harbor, Wantagh, St. Anthony's, the number 1 team in the country, taking on Manhasset, and that will precede that great Reeves Rock annual showdown between Chaminade and Manhasset. Of course, Chaminade just yesterday losing to rival St. Anthony's for the 8th straight time. So there's going to be some angry Flyers there heading to Manhasset, but a great cause in that one, of course. So we'll get some baseball action. Scanlon, Cathedral Prep, and then Cold Spring Harbor and St. Anthony's on the girls' side. But that Reeves Rock game, listen, it's for Jimmy Regan, right? The Manhasset native, wore number 19 at Chaminade. So they kept his number alive, and through this annual game also keeping his memory alive, gave his life, gave the ultimate sacrifice for his country in the Middle East. And it's one of the games, Jared, that is the more meaningful games of the entire lacrosse calendar on Long Island.
Yeah, it's so special, and I think a lot of people have that one circled. And the Manhasset community, the Chaminade community, everyone coming together, really all of Long Island loves that matchup, and I'm personally extremely excited about it. And the two players representing, Jimmy Regan's number this year, Ben Fox at Chaminade and Mikey Mondiello at Manhasset, have done a great job, and they've really, lived up to, proving why they wear that number, and they've done a wonderful job.
Jaffairs nearly picked off an errant pass. That one, good knockdown. And the Blue Devils look to run. You give a lot of credit there to Patrick Canerium on the knockdown. He's that glue guy on the back, the senior for Huntington.
Yeah, great stop there for the Blue Devils, and now chance.
Rybenko gets it. The feed was from Giramonti, and Rybenko gets the goal to pull the Blue Devils within one.
And Dylan, it's only a matter of time where he was going to cash one of those in. We saw a couple of those opportunities where his teammates were able to get it to him. He just shot it wide. This time, a little bit of an unsettled situation where it was Giramonti to Rybenko. He does a good job handling it, putting it in that bottom low corner, and Huntington being able to cut the lead to just one.
How about that placement too, right, by Rybenko? Inside, far post. Goal number 20 on the season for Rybenko.
Yeah, off stick as well, and he shows why he can be, a very, very good inside guy for this Huntington team, complementing the other guys very well.
So the 6th face-off win for Kuzo, 6 out of 7 to start. Brett Jaffairs was, he said, listen, if we could at least go 40%, right, he'll be really happy.
Yeah, 40% would be a big win for Connetquot in this one, especially going against a face-off guy the caliber of Kuzo.
Good decision to go forward on that ball on the carpet. That's Aiden Dinnigan. And now the T-Birds look to run. Turricini! It all started with Dinnigan defensively, and then Connetquot got out running.
Yeah, Dinnigan did a great job, and an even better job from Turricini, able to provide an outlet right away, getting away from his defender. But then again, good job goosing it, able to pick it up, and he had his head up right away, being able to dish it to Turricini as he got just enough room away from his defender to haul it in. And then you see the wheels, as no one was stopping him, right to the rack, putting it away. Big-time goal for the T-Birds.
47th of the year for Turricini. Another face-off win for the Blue Devils, but you got to give a lot of credit to this side of the ball for Connetquot. They have made things very difficult for Huntington.
Yeah, for the most part, doing an extremely good job, but a flag does fly, so free possession for Huntington, and the Blue Devils really looking to take advantage of it here as the half is winding down.
Yeah, they're looking to get their first man-up opportunity, and still this free possession is alive. Giramonti from goal line extended to X. Little hitch. Back up top. Good ball movement. Jump shot. Giramonti off the mark, and we'll get the foul now.
And I like the one more pass there from Lennon, and we'll take a look at what the penalty is. And it looks like, yeah, it's going to be a slash there.
Yeah, we'll get the official call. 1 minute on the slash. There it is. So first man up opportunity for Huntington. Blue Devils a chance to, again, slice into their deficit. This is the final day of the regular season. Season number 2 begins shortly thereafter. It's a 1-minute man up for Huntington. There's that look again, but a Fitzgibbons robbery. Loses it though, and then Huntington, a simple tap in there. So they'll get the man up goal, but man, Fitzgibbons, what a save. Just unable to get it out of his stick.
Yeah, originally a wonderful save from Fitzgibbon, as clearly a miscommunication on the rotation. Fitzgibbon stays tall, able to save it, but what an interception there from Tommy Klein, and his awareness right off the bat after taking the ball away from Fitzgibbon. He still doesn't have the best angle. He gives it to his teammate, and there's no stopping that one. Huntington within just a goal.
Yeah, and Klein doesn't go for it there as well, right? It's made the smart heads-up play, passed it across the crease where McNulty had the finish. They go pole here with Weaver. Another win. Not a high effort by Giramonti.
Yeah, that one just over the cage, but if Luka Kuzo is able to win a lot of these clean forward, Huntington definitely has to take advantage of these transition opportunities where they've been able to cash in a lot this season, and they're going to look to get some of those before they have to go against a very tough zone defense within Connetquot, where they really have only been able to score, I believe, just like 2 true times against it.
Final 20 seconds here. That off the mark as well. And listen, last year, what was it, opening day, I think it was, or early in the season, Huntington, Cold Spring Harbor, Anthony Annunziata won every face-off, and Cold Spring Harbor won the game. Like, it's all about, we put so much on the face-off X, but obviously it's about what you do after it. Good knockdown by Dinnigan. He has come to play. And we get a flag as well.
Dinnigan's going to draw that penalty. What a play from number 8.
And how big is this as well, right? Because it comes at the end of the quarter. You don't have to face it off to start the third.
Massive. I did see him throw a pass, but I'm pretty sure it got into the stick of Fitzgibbon before the final horn. So now Connetquot being able to start man up, where they already have one EMO goal here this evening. So that'll be big to start the third quarter.
Turricini gets on his horse, or is it a T-bird? Flies to the cage for the finish, and Connetquot leads it at the half. You're watching it all right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media Pass is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Playoffs. For semifinal and championship coverage of boys and girls lacrosse, flag football, and baseball, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Varsity Media is the home for New York high school sports.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Dante does it again! Defensive play. Dante Zadaro. Illico ties it up. Move by
Yeso steps up and score.
A jump shot for Nell.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Did you just have the best athletic year of your life, and now you want to show it off to college coaches? Well, let Varsity Media help you. Varsity Media's college recruiting videos show off your unique skills to help you land a spot on the team of your dream school. We'll provide music, spot shadow effects, and a link to send to your next coach. Contact us today for more information. Don't rely on word of mouth or cold emails. Let Varsity Media help you take your game to the next level.
High school sports fans, are you following Varsity Media on our YouTube channel? For the best coverage of New York high school sports, make sure you head to youtube.com/Varsity Media. 3 easy steps. First, hit that like button, and then be sure to subscribe. And finally, tap that yellow bell to be notified of all of our upcoming sportscasts. Thank you for following Varsity Media on YouTube.
Hey parents, how about a bobblehead for your athlete? Bobbleheads are one of the most preferred personalized gift items today, and it's so easy to order. All you need is a photo of your athlete, a model number from our extensive collection of bobbleheads, and the sculpting process begins. 2 proofs are sent for your approval, and once it's approved, in a few weeks, your bobblehead is on the way. It's that simple. Order your bobblehead today by logging into varsitymediapass.com and click catalogs, or call 516-403-2050.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media.
Varsity Media offers live streaming services for any sport. With human beings behind the camera, you can expect the proper coverage angles during each game. We offer customizable options such as live scoreboard, multiple cameras, instant replay, graphics, and even announcers. Find out how you can save $100 off a live stream package with Varsity Media by calling 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. Did you know Varsity Media now offers action photography for all sporting events? Available for individuals or teams, we'll send dedicated photographers down to field level to capture your best moments. Our rates are affordable, and our photos will leave you with lasting memories for a lifetime. Contact us today, mention this ad, and get $25 off your first order. Email ben@varsitymedia.net or call 516-403-2050.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media Pass is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Playoffs. For semifinal and championship coverage of boys and girls lacrosse, flag football, and baseball, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Varsity Media is the home for New York high school sports.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Welcome back to Connetquot High School. Dylan Butler, Jared Veluzzi, our entire Varsity Media crew. Listen, we thought we'd have a good one. Close game, right? 1-goal game to this point. Connetquot leading the Blue Devils of Huntington, and this the final game of the regular season for both. And Jared, we take a look at the first half stats. Says, hey, we have a flyover here as well. Actually, might be heading to MacArthur, but you could tell here by the numbers, possession heavily favoring Huntington, but just not been able to cash in on all those extra possessions.
Yeah, Kuzo's done a wonderful job from the faceoff X, 8 of 9 as you see on your screen, and Huntington 19 shots, but unfortunately a lot of them have either missed the cage or Fitzgibbon has made some excellent saves in net. He has 6 of those so far, just in half number 1, and also Huntington taking 4 penalties certainly didn't help their cause, but Connetquot definitely cashing in when it matters. 6 shots, all on cage, including 4 goals. They're definitely making the most of their opportunities.
And that was unfair, I think, to Connetquot there, because that 4th one, I think, that we added is the one that they're on currently. And here you see Fitzgibbon, again, making the save and trying to get the clear, but he has been really good. And again, he's a guy you feel for him, right, from last year, where, he's a co-captain this year, tore his hamstring at Ward Melville last year. So Colton Stellwagen had to play a quarter of that game and had to, as a sophomore, be the starting goalie down the stretch of the regular season. Fitzgibbon was sadly or sorely missed, I should say, but just has that great, really calm demeanor in the cage. You can see it there as well. Number 44, just a general good leader as well, smart. We mentioned watching film as often as he does, and he has been big today and throughout the season for Connetquot. So as you mentioned before, right, no face-off to start this 3rd quarter on the man-up opportunity for Connetquot. Their 4th, 1 for 3 so far. Here's Turricini fighting his way through. Good job just keeping that ball by Jaffairs.
Yeah, good job navigating his way through traffic, keeping Connetquot's man-up opportunity still alive.
Turricini, the hitch, in on his hands, backs it up. DeLiso. Back to Jaffairs. Firing off the mark by Galosi.
And that time, Galosi letting it rip from distance. And normally you don't love that shot, but with how Galosi shoots the ball, you don't hate it. But Connetquot still has the opportunity to potentially get something here before the penalty releases.
Turricini to Luca. Luca has one of the T-Birds' goals in the first half. Jaffairs with a couple of assists, forced it down low, trying to find Nsinga. And a turnover for the T-Birds.
Yeah, good job getting back inside. Once again, was that Huntington man-down unit. And outside of that goal from Galusi earlier, this has been a very good man-down unit for Huntington. And now they have the opportunity here on offense.
It all starts with number 2, Giramonti. As now, the Blue Devils are even. That was McDonald feeding the QB at X. Up top to McNulty. He's got a goal in the first half, McNulty. Oh, he's trying to go a little box lacrosse. McDonald, right? Not a lot of room to shoot there off the mark.
Yeah, McDonald trying to attack that tight space there and see if Connetquot was kind of slow to help, which they technically were, but the shot just a little wide.
And that one also wide of the mark by Tommy Klein.
And that's been a big story for Huntington so far. We mentioned how many shots they had in the first half, but a lot of them have been missing the cage. So we'll see if they're able to force Fitzgibbon to continue making more saves here and if they can get quality looks on cage.
Yeah, 21 shots unofficially now. As it's McDonald. Goes goal line extended. Kicks it back out, McNulty. They'll just work it around. The one more. Nice dodge and the finish. That's one that does find the back of the net. It's Colin Lennon.
And Lennon's been rather quiet here so far, but that time does a great job dodging and beating his man, as Lennon had 3 goals against Hills. And this time, as you're about to see, it was McNulty over to Klein, and then Lennon off the poor approach, able to beat Galosi, and then getting back to his right hand where he has a better angle to shoot, and he hammers it home. And Lennon, definitely one of the top goal scorers on this Huntington team. Big G for him.
His 27th, another face-off win for Kuzo. Oh, nearly blew a tire as he got in. You got to think, if you're Julian Watts, you see that, you're like, oh, hang on, let's keep those ankles intact, please.
Yeah, that's a player you definitely need for a postseason run if you're Huntington, especially when you take a look at the face-off guys that the top 3 teams in this division all have.
Yeah, Baumgarth might be the best of them for Northport. You got Madden, Murphy as well, right?
Yeah,
Ward Melville.
He's been a stud, and then, of course, Jikas at Hills has been really good. And then you see Kuzo here today. He's been amazing for Huntington. But that division has always been very talented at that position. But, I mean, that's Suffolk big boy right there.
So, again, Connetquot packing it in, right? Trying to force Huntington to send the pass in there with all those pulls.
And yeah, Lucas Weaver does an excellent job at the top of this zone defense, pressing out and making plays, forcing tough passes.
The one more, the jump shot. So he got knocked down. Now the T-Birds will look to clear.
Yeah, the shot never got there. And good job by Connetquot, able to haul in the GB. No second chance opportunities.
They get the clear, maybe more. Weaver. And then he lost it.
Yeah, Weaver unable to find an outlet, and good job by Huntington really closing in on the long pull. I think they definitely shut some of those outlets off, and they were able to double team, force a turnover. But now the ball's on the carpet here once again.
And this time the GB goes to the Blue Devils, looking to take the lead here. They led early. They scored the game's first goal, but they've largely trailed from that point on.
Yeah, and Huntington starting to, at least on the last possession, looked like they were finding a rhythm after that Lennon goal, and then they had one more, of course, sneaking from X. Definitely looking to be more comfortable here in this zone offense.
Two-man game now. Rybenko back to McNulty. Switching course are the Blue Devils. Piramonte back to Rybenko. Goes up top, switching to his left, and there's the finish. A pretty goal for the Blue Devils. Timmy McDonald.
And what a skip pass originally to start this off. And I believe, yeah, who else? It looks like that was 7 there, and then over to Klein. And I mean, amazing split dodge. Really just to get to his left. Good
Apologies. I said McDonald. It was Klein, right?
Yeah.
Who had the finish, his second goal of this game. Huntington has their second lead. Clean win for Kuzo. Jump shot. Saved by Fitzgibbon. That was McNulty with the shot.
And that's a big save for Fitzgibbon because the momentum would have really shifted in the Blue Devils' favor there if that shot was able to go. But Fitzgibbon does a great job hawking that one down, and a successful clear for Connetquot.
Yeah, it was hairy there for a moment, but they did get the ball to Turasini. Now they're able to get their numbers. Out of the box comes Luca and DeLiso. And here's Nick Luca, great lacrosse IQ.
Yeah, we saw it earlier in his goal, just amazing spatial recognition and being able to just get his hands free. Good job cutting and finishing. And Connetquot going to look for an answer here.
There are some young T-Birds on this team, there's no doubt. Luca, one of them. And there he is on the ball. Good movement off the ball. Up top is DeLiso. There he is. Turasini now. DeLiso! No.
Yeah,
Fallon, the denial.
It's a big save from Fallon, and Connetquot, I liked all the off-ball movement on that offense. Ended up getting a shot off a righty sweep, but Fallon all over it. And the third quarter continues to go Huntington's way here.
Blue Devils looking to extend their lead. And a flag is thrown, and it's a delayed penalty. It'll be against Dinnigan. You kind of feel for Dinnigan there, right? Because the ball went on the carpet. He was aggressive to chase it. But I think he's going to get called for the push. Rounding the cage. And the finish. Giramonti gets the goal.
And it was only a matter of time, right, Dylan, before Giramonti was going to stick one of those. And that time he does a great job dodging from X. I mean, this is his office, able to invert as he has a shorty behind. And that is not an easy matchup for any short stick defensive midfielder on Long Island. This time just getting to his right hand and a very quick finish. No help there. And Giramonti's going to make you pay.
46th goal of the year, probably the most complete attackman that Huntington has. They waved off that penalty. And a lot of whistles here. I thought initially it was Kuzo jumping.
Yeah, it looked like he went early, but also Connetquot was late to maybe get someone on, so I'm not exactly sure how that'll work with someone getting out of the box, but hey, it looks like they're going to redo this one.
Yes, they will. Good scrap by Jaffairs. A terrific ground ball picked up as well.
Big play by Weaver there.
Now Weaver, he's got to find the player. He does in DeLiso. Now some numbers, perhaps. Jaffairs took some contact. It's getting physical out there. Huntington hunting the ball and coming away with it.
What a play. It looked like that was Tommy Klein there, initiating contact with an amazing jam, which ended up causing the ball to get loose, and now Blue Devils back to work on offense.
I love the quote from Julian Watts about Tommy Klein. He's a lacrosse player. You don't say he's this or that on the field. He is just a lacrosse player. He brings it. And so do the T-Birds. How about that, right? Away. Connetquot. Looks like it was 4. I was going to say DeLiso, but it was Galosi.
Big time response, and this time they do it in an unsettled situation. Galosi able to protect his stick, and falling down, he finds a way to net it top shelf. What a shot there from the future Bobcat as a needed goal for Connetquot. I mean, Huntington went on a 3-0 run to start this quarter, and now the T-Birds just within 1.
Galosi's second of the game, 33rd of the year. You can see from that play, right, what a tough kid he is. Kuzo wins it to himself. Now the Blue Devils, I think they started feeling a little more comfortable, or they are feeling a little bit more comfortable offensively in this quarter.
Yeah, they're doing a good job, and that's a great check. It looked like it was Dinnigan.
Yeah, and you know what? He gets the hoop and the harm, if you will, as Giramonti tried to ride it back and kind of pushed Dinnigan out. This will be a 1-minute slash against Giramonti, so terrific job by Aiden Dinnigan. You see it again.
Yeah, just pestering Giramonti. Does a good job. Ends up connecting with that stick check to force the turnover. And I think this is the second penalty that he's drawn as a defenseman. Violent play there. And now Connetquot, though, they get to enjoy a man-up opportunity, as we could potentially be looking at a tie ball game if the T-Birds do cash in. So great job by Dinnigan.
Dinnigan, big contributor last year, tore his ACL against Sachem East. Lost for the playoffs, was the anchor of the defense, veteran captain of this squad. Another Malloy University commit. Big man up now for the T-Birds. And you could sense that they feel that way too. Shot off the mark, no backup. So now unless Connetquot could ride this back, Huntington can get the clear and the kill.
Yeah, big time awareness from Knierim on Huntington to be able to go back and get that possession after the missed shot. And a nice clear for the Blue Devils, able to kill off another penalty.
Yeah, this is their 5th penalty, and listen, Julian Watts, once upon a time, was on that side of the ball as well, so he knows about the physicality, but you got to think on that sideline. He's saying, listen, guys, let's rein this in a little bit. We can't give them this many man-up opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, penalties are killer, and it's good that they've been successful on a man-down unit, but you don't want to see Connetquot's man-up get too many chances because they will eventually sting it. But regardless, Huntington able to survive another one, and now we'll see what they can do with a potential lengthy possession here towards the end of the quarter.
They tried to feed it to Rybenko. Another loose ball. This is right in front of Fitzgibbon's cage. And Weaver, good job. This is the hockey playoffs. Look like a hockey defenseman there.
Yeah, he does such an excellent job in the open field despite that pass being a little bit low for his teammate. Now whistle down. It looks like it's going to stay with Connetquot.
Yeah, that'll be a push with possession. So T-Birds a chance to tie now. Galosi and Turicini, 2 goals apiece. Nick Luca has the other one for the T-Birds.
It looks like Huntington coming out in zone here.
Here's Luca. Hands off. DeLiso. Step down, DeLiso! And we are tied at 6.
And how about it from DeLiso? I mean, classic overhand ripper from big number 24. Huntington wants to play his own defense. Connetquot says, okay, we got some elite outside shooters. And right away, DeLiso able to hammer it over the top. That one gets past Fallon. And just like that, we have a tie ball game.
And that's the thing, right? DeLiso, he's got the wrists, right? Really good wrists. And he has the ability just to get it out so quick, right? As well. So a terrific finish from DeLiso. Kuzo, though, another face-off win. Some physicality brought by Weaver.
And it continues, but a flag flies now as looks to be a little bit delayed. Also, good job by Galosi to cut off the break and stopping what would have been a 4-on-3 for Huntington. But it looks like the penalty.
It'll be a hold, 30 seconds.
And yeah, there it is.
Huntington cashed in on their lone man-up opportunity in the first half. And they'll have a 29 seconds, I guess, to go when the fourth quarter begins. But Huntington and Connetquot as close as can be. You don't give DeLiso time and space. He will bury it from distance. That one was from Oakdale. Tied at 6 after 3 right here in the Varsity Media Sports Network. Dante does it again! Defensive play. Dante Zadaro. Illico ties it up. By
Yeso steps up and score.
jump shot for Nell.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Welcome back to Connetquot High School. Dylan Butler, Jared Veluzzi. It's the final quarter of the regular season, and it's Huntington and Connetquot tied at 6. Blue Devils start this fourth quarter, man up. Jared, we expected it to be a tight, close, hard-fought affair, a physical one, and we've checked all those boxes in Bohemia this afternoon.
What an amazing 3 quarters it has been, and you can definitely highlight the physical aspect of it, especially here late between both of these teams, and it's been a good one. 6-6, see if the Blue Devils can cash in here.
And again, trying to force it to the crease. Fitzgibbon comes away. Rounds the cage, look out from behind. Needs some help. And he finds it in Faraka. He's the QB of the football team. That would have been an incomplete pass in the fall, but this one goes to Galosi. Galosi! Low.
And what a play from Galosi at the start. He wasn't able to haul in the high pass, but the fact that he was able to still track the ball and maintain it, pick it up, and go down and get an opportunity for his team, very impressive. And now Connetquot able to back it up, so the T-Birds still with possession, but getting those 50-50 ground balls in between the lines, extremely important, especially here down the stretch.
Luca to Jaffairs at X. Dad Brett went to St. John's, joked with him in our conversation last night. You really didn't give AJ any chance, right? He was going to St. John's regardless. He said, honestly, the Turries, terrific coaches, and the opportunity was too good to pass up. As there's AJ from X. Really building something in Queens. The Turries, former legends at West Islip.
You could say they had some good teams back then at West Islip.
I was going to say at St. John's, right? Here in McCardle, right? Back in the day at Connetquot.
Oh, no, especially over there.
Legends. Deliso to Jaffairs. Nsinga. Galosi back up to Luca. Getting topside, firing it low! Deliso! His second, and the T-Birds lead it 7-6.
Back-to-back snipes from Deliso, and timely, to say the least. Tying goal, and now the go-ahead. But, Dylan, after the first goal, you mentioned how quick his wrists are, how fast he can get it out. That is a perfect example. And how about the classic high bouncer? As Deliso gets that one to go, Connetquot up by 1. He's fired up. T-Birds benches as well. Connetquot really needed that one here as time winds down.
Well, Jared, you and I watch film. That's his MO, right? The high bouncer. A little old school in that mentality. Another face-off win. And Huntington, the immediate response. Kuzo, the clean win, and the finish by Giramonte, his second.
Yeah, and Kuzo creating offense for his team right off the face-off win, as this time just able to get it to McNulty. How about the skip pass, threading the needle, and some high heat from Giramonte. We saw a couple of those shots from him earlier, sailing just over the cage. This time, number 2 is going to stick it. And man, this one really turning out to be a fun one here in Bohemia. We're all tied up at 7.
And Kuzo again, he has dominated the face-off X.
And he's done an excellent job after securing possession. He's done a phenomenal job just finding his teammates and making sure Huntington gets an offensive possession or really creating offense. Very smart with the ball afterwards.
So Huntington looking for that go-ahead goal again. Here's McNulty. They've had a lot of opportunities, a lot of the ball with all those Kuzo face-off wins, but the defense has been stout for the T-Birds this afternoon. And of course, Fitzgibbon has been excellent in the cage.
He's made a lot of big-time saves.
Some wheel action, step down, and Fitzgibbon. That one bounced all the way out to midfield. That hammered the post.
And Lucas Weaver almost made he did make a fantastic play, able to get it out, but almost was able to pick it up on the offensive end of things, but Huntington has a chance.
Unsettled, Germonte! Hat trick for the senior.
Unsettled situations. Huntington able to pick up the ball deep in their own territory, and if they got numbers, they're going to push the tempo. Germonti does a great job sneaking behind his defender, and he's going to finish that one every time. See the bench mob at the bottom of their screen getting pumped as well, and the Blue Devils on a little bit of a roll here after trailing 7-6. A lot of momentum going their way.
And maybe that's a little bit of like a microcosm of the way this season has gone for Connetquot, right? Because you do so many things right there, right? As you said, Weaver gets it pushed up, but Huntington able to quickly go from defense to offense. Another face-off win for the Blue Devils. So a little momentum right now for the visitors from Huntington.
Yeah, now Huntington up by 1, getting a settled possession here, but they've done such a great job in the second half.
And here's the hot hand, Germonti from X.
Yeah, and you could expect him to really attack those short sticks on the low pipes. He's really feeling it, and of course that's also the guy that you want to have the ball in these situations if you're Huntington.
McNulty up top, and there's Germonti. Fitzgibbon, the takeaway. And now the all-important clear for the T-Birds. And they will fail to do so.
Yeah, the pass over Colosi's head. And it looks like Huntington's going to take a smart timeout here to settle things down and make sure they have possession.
Yeah, Blue Devils call a timeout. And as we said, Jared, it is playoff season. And the Varsity Media Sports Network is your home for the Nassau playoffs. We are the exclusive rights holder for all of the biggest games in Nassau County in boys lacrosse, girls lacrosse, flag football, and baseball. Go to varsitymediapass.com to order. And we will be taking up a residence at Stewart Stadium.
Man, I'm pumped for that.
At Hofstra, some terrific lacrosse coming up in Nassau County. Again, varsitymediapass.com. Well, this is also the postseason for the NCAAs, and both of these teams have guys playing on that next level, right? And we'll take a look at them first for Huntington, and we mentioned Annunziata already as a true freshman facing off. We saw John Krish earlier this year, right, when UMass played Rutgers, and Aiden Corello, still just a puppy at Georgetown, but what a terrific team Georgetown is. And as we flip the page over to Connetquot, if you are a Tyler and you're from Connetquot, there's pretty good odds you're on this list. McCarthy, Cordes, Moore. Of course, Jack McCarthy at St. John's, Sean Hill as well facing off at LIU.
All right, I got the trio of Tylers, and we're going to see both of them Syracuse NCAA tournament, and of course, Tyler Moore at St. Joe's also in the tournament, looking to make some noise against Virginia.
Yeah, against Schellenberger and the Cavs. Should be fun. That'll be Saturday afternoon as St. Joe's looking to cause some noise in the tournament.
I hope so.
There's Giramonti. We've got Mount Sinai tomorrow. We built that next level for them. Here's a little bit of a hint. There's a lot of Syracuse and a lot of last name that sounds like Polina. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, definitely a couple of those, I think. Definitely a couple of those.
So off the timeout, let's see what Huntington has drawn up. Giramonti, and he's so dangerous too, Jared, because he's such a great facilitator as well, right? So, you can, if you overplay him as a shooter, he'll find that open man.
Yeah, he does such a good job keeping his head up, and his feeding ability truly off the charts.
Patience here from the Blue Devils. Inside 6 minutes left in regulation. Low to low, side netting. As our buddy Brian Soper would call that a mom goal.
That's classic. Yeah, just on the outside, and now Connetquot, I mean, another important clear. They're able to get it over.
And they are not. Devastating for the T-Birds. And now numbers for Huntington. And this time it is Giramonti with the pass, finding Rybenko, but Fitzgibbons, a terrific save.
He's been so good in those situations.
Yeah, I was going to say, the question here for you is, where's the short stick? Like, someone's got to come back on the ball. And here comes Huntington again, numbers. And this one, they will finish. You just can't give a good team that many opportunities. And this one, they cash in on to extend their lead, as it's Tommy Klein, again, his third.
Yeah, Dylan, you make an amazing point. I mean, it was just the long pulls down low. They end up throwing it towards the middle of the field. Tommy Klein says, hey, I'll take that. And as the old saying goes, high bouncers will go. Klein gets that one in, and Huntington up by 2. And the Blue Devils' ride has been good. And unfortunately for Connetquot, failed clears has really taken over in this fourth quarter.
Klein, the Loyola commit junior, might be a D-midi on the next level. And Kuzo, another massive face-off win. And obviously the later we go and with the score being what it is, these face-offs just loom even larger.
Yeah, it's super important, especially with Huntington trying to play make it, take it right now, especially after the last 3, getting all those face-off wins. And now the Blue Devils can really take their time here on offense if they'd like.
Well, apparently they don't, because they want to go. I think that might have been Joey Zink. Hard to see their numbers there, number 5, senior quarterback.
Yeah, Connetquot's switching to man now. I think that got Huntington pretty excited. But they're going to man, looking for at least some takeaways or some more pressure.
Giramonti lost his man, still has it. They're going to pressure him, clearly. But good size for Giramonti. Senior unsigned, right? Looking for a home on the next level.
Yeah, and if he does decide to choose to play college lacrosse, some program is going to get very lucky.
Going downhill. Good movement. Step down shot off the bar. BTB. Rebound for Giramonti. His 4th. And Huntington starting to pull away.
And as pretty as that goal was, I want to highlight the ball movement that led up to it. I mean, that is pretty offense. I mean, a bunch of one-mores, able to get a shot right up the hash. Good original save, but then how about the BTB from Giramonti? It has been Tommy's second half.
4-1 for the senior, which puts him up to 49 goals on the season.
And we talked about Huntington's theme, right? We, us, together, all in. I mean, that's beautiful team offense right there. And it ended up with Giramonti finishing with some flash to it with the BTB sideline getting extremely hype. And now Huntington, yet another possession.
Well, Jared, you wanted to see Stellwagen facing off. You barely saw him there because he jumped. So he went off.
I know. I was excited for it, but unfortunately, it's didn't exactly get to see the complete experience.
So Huntington in full control here. As again, no shot clock. You could get a stall warning, but Huntington, they want to go full gas. They want to put the hammer down. Another save from Fitzgibbon. And this is what I'm saying, right? Like, where do the short sticks come in to help? We go the other way.
And yeah, technically a successful clear for Connetquot on paper, but the result, once getting it into the offensive side of the field, a turnover. And yeah, not a ton of help there for the T-Birds, as whether it's substitutions or getting the right personnel on, Connetquot unable to get a successful possession, and now Huntington back in control. It seems like they've been on this side of the field for most of the fourth quarter.
And I don't think really when, Brett Jaffar's and his staff, they'll go and they'll methodically go over this film, but at least from our vantage point up here in the press box, it's really a story of two things. It's the face-off X, which you expected, to be fair, but also the clears, right? And all these extra possessions that finally Huntington able to capitalize on in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and I mean, the rule of thumb, especially if you're not winning face-offs, the name of the game at that point is stops and clears. And Connetquot has been getting stops, but the next part with that is some failed clears, which has hurt them. And we saw a couple unsettled opportunities Huntington was able to cash in on. And if you give a talented offense like the Blue Devils just so many opportunities shooting the ball, they're going to find a way to put it in and make you pay.
You mentioned that win over Cold Spring Harbor, an emotional win for Huntington, right? That's that crosstown rivalry. And again, a year ago, Anthony Annunziata won every face-off, as now Fitzgibbon out of the net to be that extra defender. But after that wins over Riverhead and Sachem North, Comac, Smithtown East, 2-goal loss to South Fork, and then wins over Middle Country, Bayshore, and then that tight loss to Hills, as Giramonte will get the easy empty netter, giving him now an even 50 on the season.
Yeah, it's been a special campaign for Thomas Giramonte, and this one, as easy as it can get. Of course, Connetquot with the goalie out, trying to double, trying to make a play here late, and Giramonte able to just walk in and finish, as the Blue Devils' 5-0 run has really been the highlight here in the fourth quarter.
So Giramonte has been fantastic, 5-1 to lead the way. Tommy Klein has done it, but also you got to give Kuzo a ton of credit. And this one, Stellwagen gets it mucked up. And in fact, it's a win for Connetquot. T-Birds will call a timeout with 1:17 remaining. We take this opportunity to bring you the Speed Island Speedy Play of the game. Improve your speed with Onyx Salva and team located in Garden City. Visit speedislandny.com to book your session today. And Jared, we go back to an unsettled situation for the T-Birds back early in this contest.
Yeah, and I'm sure some dad in the stands was yelling wheels as Carson Terracini went all the way to the house. There's no stopping him. I mean, the speed on complete display as he flew downfield, put that one away for a crucial early goal for Connetquot. I mean, that was one of the most exciting plays of the day.
And Carson Terracini, that is your Speed Island Speedy Play of the game. One of his 2 goals on the afternoon. Connetquot 8-7. We told you the road for Huntington, and you go back to Connetquot, right? Like that stretch, you had an emotional rivalry win over Sachem North, 12-11, and then you have that big win, the signature win, which was, as Brett Jaffar's told us last night, the best version of themselves in Connetquot, beating Northport 9-8. And then a 1-goal loss to Hills that followed. Then you beat Bayshore, you beat Smithtown East. And then just some puzzling losses, right? Losing by 1 to Longwood, you lose to Floyd. You beat North Babylon, but then you had losses to Ward Melville. As there's Golosi gets the finish, Comac and Pat Med as well. So Golosi hoping maybe to light a fire here late, his third inside the final 59 seconds.
Yeah, and once again, him kind of showing off that cannon that makes him such a great player. Some high heat, getting that to go. And of course, I do love the fact that Connetquot, they're still battling, right? I mean, just under a minute left here. They're still going as hard as they can, getting a goal here late, trying to get something to build off of. As, of course, they're still a postseason team. They're going to have to really come to play in round one. I mean, Suffolk, Class A, so deep. You know that round one game, if they're an 8 seed, it's going to be intense.
Jaffairs! The Fogo goal!
So hold on a second. I mean, what a play by Jaffairs right off the face-off. And, I mean, you want to talk about no quit. I mean, A.J. Jaffairs got it. As what an amazing play. That time, able to get the clamp away from Kuzo and hammering it lefty. So Connetquot only down by 2, and there's still some time. I know the face-off has been a little bit of an issue.
Jaffairs wears that number 6 for Kieran McCardle.
And represented him well on that one, but there's Kuzo once again.
However, some physicality. Weaver bringing it. Who's got the ball? We've got whistles.
And they've had to call a timeout there, Huntington.
So Connetquot making the Blue Devils earn it late here.
Yeah, I mean, Connetquot gets that possession. Then I think the nerves really start flowing if you're Huntington. But Blue Devils do a good job winning the face-off. Kuzo, he's been doing his thing all evening. That time, able to secure it, and a very good timeout by Coach Watts, able to get that one off. Huntington securing possession. Now they can kind of set up what they're doing here in the offensive zone.
Well, some big sportscasts coming up. We continue the end of our lacrosse regular season with East Islip, Mount Sinai. On the girls' side, we've got some good matchups, right? Cold Spring Harbor, Wantagh, St. Anthony's. The number 1 team in the country, maybe the best player in the country in Tess Calabria, as they take on Manhasset. Riggs Rock coming up under the lights at Manhasset. Ed Walsh Field, 7 o'clock, Chaminade, Manhasset. How about a little New York City baseball? Monsignor Scanlon, Cathedral Prep. And then we close out our upcoming slate with Cold Spring Harbor St. Anthony's girls. May 13th at 5. But again, as we told you, we are the home to Nassau County playoffs. Varsity Media Pass is where you need to go, as we will have all of the biggest games on the Nassau County slate. Boys and girls lacrosse, as well as flag football and baseball. All right, so off the timeout. You can see they're going to pressure right away.
They got 2 good pulls to do it right off the bat. I mean, it's Dinnigan and Weaver looking to cause some havoc.
And a great job by Klein. Again, Fitzgibbon out of the cage. And he buries it. The funny thing there, too, is if we go back on this replay, like as soon as he kind of beat his man, I think then he realized it because he reversed course. Like, hang on, the net's empty.
Yeah,
I want to still eat.
Klein did a really good job.
Just staying in there.
Yeah, tiptoeing right on the midline. And then you see the pure speed.
Watch this right here. He sees the net. Like, wait, hang on.
Yep. And then...
Wait, no, I'm going to come back.
Klein getting back to his right. And this one, once able to get towards the middle of the field, as easy as it gets, empty netter for TK, number 19, with a big performance. And once again, the quote-unquote just a lacrosse player, complete player. He did in all phases of the game as he really helped impact Huntington here today.
And that was his fourth, so he's got 4-1. Giramonte 5-1. Kuzo winning all but 2 faceoffs. That was the recipe for victory on this last day of the regular season as Huntington wins this one 12-9.
Yeah, and we talked about it early on. You know, the seniors in this attack unit for Huntington, they're going to have to really step up here, and Thomas Giramonte really came to play, especially in the second half. Did it in a variety of ways. He ended up having a huge performance. Huntington defeating Connetquot 12-9.
A big one to end the season because they did have that loss to Hills, right? 16-7. So you want that response to end the regular season, and you want to be in a battle, right? This is the type of game you're going to see in the playoffs. So Huntington answers the bell in a big way. They improve to 12-4, and we saw there when we showed you the standings, not updated that we have yet. Obviously, it's going to be based on today's games, but they're like right there. They're 4. They'll probably be staying there at 4. So they'll have a couple of home games left, and you like your chances. I think if you've got a few of those, you've got a balanced attack, you've got a good goalie, you've got terrific face-off play. Those a lot of times win you playoff games. For Connetquot, 8-8 on the season, and they go into the playoffs on a 4-game losing streak. So not the way you'd want to get there for the T-Birds. But look, we saw it here today. The pieces are there, right? Like really good goalie play. They scrap it out defensively, and they've got some dudes on the attack. It's just the little things, and the little things become huge, and that's especially the clearing game, which ultimately failed them today.
Yeah, clearing the ball is going to be extremely important, especially in the playoffs. And Connetquot, they're most likely going to get a matchup with Longwood or Pat Med, and they could get some revenge there in the opening round. But we saw the amazing talent that they have, right? Galusi, Terracini, they all had great games. I mean, defensively, Weaver and Dinnigan causing havoc. I mean, those are two of some of the most impressive polls I've seen in this division. So Connetquot, definitely a lot of top-tier talent, a lot of good supporting cast as well, but getting these little things intact will certainly be really important when they get a matchup with either Longwood or Pat Med. And if they get past that, potentially a rematch with Northport, a team that they've defeated before, which is going to be fun. So
that'll do it for us as the sun is setting here in That's a pretty shot there for us.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
That's nice. And the sun sets here on the regular season in Suffolk County as well. Huntington, 12-9 winners. For our entire Varsity Media crew, our executive producer, Ben Turchin, technical director, Chris Sweeney. For Jeff Damo, Travis DeLuise, my broadcast partner, Jared Veluzzi, I'm Dylan Butler, thanking you for joining us from Connetquot High School. We look forward to seeing you next time right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.